In the last episode, two of our party gave chase to a would-be assassin. This led them to the winding back streets of Cairn, until they eventually caught up to their quarry. At the same time, the remaining two members of our party stayed at the inn and contemplated their life choices that led them to this moment. We return to the action now, with one assassin captured, and one paladin thanking his god he's still alive. In this, episode 15 of season 2 of ModifedRoll, Selune's Children. You get your hand in their mouth, and you're aware that in a split second they're going to try and bite you.
Yeah.
You very, very quickly just touch like the inside of their mouth, and you just feed with the tips of your fingers this capsule. And I say capsule like, you know, modern day people think capsule like a flu tablet. This is essentially a little clay thing, a little clay sphere that's going to be full of some sort of deadly poison. And you just touch it with your fingers, and you grab it with the tips of two fingers, and you pull your fingers out before they can react. And you have in your hand a little clay sphere. And they look at you, and then they close their eyes and rest their forehead on the cobbled stone street. At which point the guards come round the corner, whistles blaring, and shouting for you all to stop. Casiso, whenever the guards arrive, what do you do? I will say this is a split second of confusion, so you don't have like a big action to take here. But they come around the corner. There's like a lot of guards all yelling. The main thing that you can hear above the den is "Stop what you're doing." The guard is here. Stop what you're doing. The guard is here. What do you do in that split second reaction? Do you? And bear in mind, your reaction can be nothing. I'm not letting this person get up. I'm not forcing you to take an action. I just want to know what you, in that split second, as a character, would do.
I've got my hands like the full weight is on their hands, pinning my hands down to the floor. My body is kind of it's letting up a little bit, but I'm still on them, trying to make sure they do not get away in this split second while the guards are approaching. Mm-hmm. But I'm kind of moving my body in a way to let them know that I'm ready to get up. But I'm not letting this person go.
Yeah. No, that's perfectly fine. Giliana, you've pulled this clay sphere out of the mouth. Casiso is still on top of this person. The guards have come around the corner. What do you do in that split second?
First of all, that clay thing's going in my pocket.
Cool. Make a sleight of hand check. And I'm just going to roll a single perception check for all of the guards. Fuck it, at disadvantage, it's dark. Ooh, that was a natural one.
17.
Yeah, they don't fucking notice. You could be snorting coke, they wouldn't tell. It's dark. You slip that into your pocket, and you're pretty fucking sure that nobody spotted it.
And then I'm gonna like just like slump to the ground, sort of like on like her legs a little bit, so like just extra. I don't want her getting up. I'm just gonna be like, and I'm gonna pretend like I'm really hurt. Like I'm hurt. I am really hurt, but I'm like playing it up like I'm mortally wounded. Like she's hurt me really bad, and I'm like, ow!
I mean, for a standard person, crying. I'm pretty sure what happened to you was a mortal wound. So no, probably not difficult.
It was bad. Yeah. Like I say I'm playing it up, but like it was bad. So no, I'm acting like a normal person would, not a crazy person.
Yeah. No,
but yeah, she's like, Christ.
Adventurers are just crazy people.
Yeah, exactly.
No sane person becomes an adventurer. I am still an adamant believer in that. So
exactly.
You sort of stand there, you slump down, you're sort of still on top of them, but you are sort of hamming it up for the crowd. There is a flurry of activity at this point. I'm not going to go through the whole, the guard don't believe you. You guys explain what happened. You show the wound. Well, to be fair, I'll actually ask you, do you explain that this person is an assassin who attacked you? What is the excuse that you give in this moment? I'm going to go to Giuliana because I'm going to assume Cazisel, you're more focused on holding them down.
Yeah.
So Giuliana, what is the reasoning you give for the fact that you two have pinned this woman to the ground?
Yeah, I think we don't really have much to hide, to be honest. She broke into our hotel.
Yep,
Our
broke into your
tavern,
inn, yeah.
not hotel. Yep, the inn, that was it.
Holiday Inn.
Ye old Holiday Inn.
Ye old Holiday Inn.
Yes. So yeah, this crazy person, we've been out with maybe some of maybe you know them. Radforth. Yep, that is what I wrote down. Actually, I just can't read. We were in the Scallywag. We had a great time, you know. Actually, some of your friends, Radforth and Merigrim, and I think, and Tormund, you know, have you heard of them? No.
I just rolled a general luck check to see if any of these guys knew these people. I rolled a 2.
Oh.
So one of them steps forward, is like, well, to be fair, what you actually hear is one of them turn to the other and whisper, "Isn't Thorgrim that one who was caught drinking on the job? He's not particularly trustworthy, that one."
I don't know. Was that one of the people? Is that who I said?
Yeah.
I mean, I had a lot to drink. I thought it was Thormhund.
So there was Thorgrim,
Tom.
Erebar, Thomund, and your mate,
Radforth.
Radforth. Yeah.
Well, you know, this is the first time we've met these people. Anyway, what I'm saying is we were out and we were drinking and it was great. And then we get back to our tavern inn, Ye Holiday Inn, and
Emperor Hearth Inn, I'm pretty sure is where you were staying.
Yeah. And we were just sleeping. And then all of a sudden I hear shouts from my friend's room. And all of a sudden I'm being told that he's been stabbed and I'm pursuing this person. And this is our first time in this place, you know? And we're being stabbed. And it's
Two of us.
robbed.
2 of us have been stabbed. That's half the people we're with.
2 of us have been stabbed. Not just one, that's 2 people. And she stole our money. Yeah. She definitely stole that as well. So she's definitely a thief. That's also gone.
Just remember, they're going to search her. So,
yeah. And if they find money, that is ours. But if not, then she must have dumped the money somewhere.
Well, that's fair
because
enough.
she did throw something.
Okay.
She stole our money.
Yeah, while you were explaining this, like a bunch of guards step forward. A couple of them like tap Cazisel on the shoulder. They're like they exchange word with you, Cazisel, being like, you know, the guard is here, we'll take it. And they can see that you are not willing to let this person up, so they make sure that they like manacle their legs, manacle their arms, keep hands on them, and then they signal you to get up. I'm going to assume you follow directions and don't just stay on top of them.
I do get up, but my eyes are laser focused while the guards have, you know, making sure they've got their grip on them, and then I kind of peel my eyes away.
Yeah. While that happens, an elf guardsman steps forward to you, Giuliana. Is like, yes, it's fine. Okay, we're here now. We have them in custody. Look, it is late at night. Have you been injured? Do you need to be taken to the temple district? Do we need to take you for healing?
Have I been injured? Have you not just listened to what a word I've just said? Of course I've been injured. My fucking guts are hanging out.
So
I would love some medical attention.
You did, all right, just because you did take a health, which is from my knowledge, because I'm not keeping track of your HP. How much HP are you down?
I'm down a lot. I'm down bad. No, I have I'm down 13 hit points now.
Okay, so it is still quite a significant wound. Again, for our listeners, people talk about health points not being like directly to injuries. Like, if I describe someone stabbing someone, I'm going to relate hit points to the stabbing. So you have been stabbed quite significantly. You have taken a healing potion, and you could feel the healing potion working. It's magic. It knits someone back together, but it doesn't fix the whole injury. You are still quite badly stabbed. You are in pain, and you are bleeding. This isn't an act. So this elf in front of you says, "Okay, calm down, because that is going to exacerbate the wound. Please sit." And he directs you to a stoop on a doorway nearby. Sit. I will signal one of my colleagues, and we will have a cleric attend to heal you imminently.
Thank you.
He turns to you, Kazisel. Sir, are you injured at all? Do you need assistance?
I'm fine, but like I said, well, my friend here, Gillian, has been injured, and there's our friend back at the inn. That's
Right.
what kicked all this off. They've been
Yeah,
stabbed.
he may need some help.
Okay,
Yeah, we need to get them.
Sir, which inn are you staying at?
It's the Ember Hearth Inn.
Ember Hearth Gate.
Sir, I will signal some guardsmen. We will have somebody attend the Ember Hearth Gate Inn, and we will see to your friend as well. In the meantime, if you could please sit down here. And he turns to one of his colleagues, relays this message. You see them run it off. You can assume to deliver this message and get somebody seen. And he turns to the two of you. Right. My colleagues here, and he gestures, and there are 4 of the guardsmen who currently have the assassin shackled, lifted, and standing on their feet. They have hands on both of their arms. We are under no disillusions. This person appears to be very dangerous. As you've said, they've injured both yourself and your friend. Please be rest assured, we will not allow them out of our sight. My colleagues here will take them to the nearest guardhouse, and we will begin questioning as soon as we physically can.
Just a quick question.
Yes.
Where is the closest guardhouse? What's it called? Like specific names, just in case I have any questions.
You dick. Let me see how far away it is. Relatively close. And
Or your name, and then I can ask around.
right, now
for
you're
you.
just being pedantic, but you're lucky because I had this written in front of me already. I do apologize. My name is Zinan.
Ooh, how would you spell that? Zenan?
Zinnnan, Zinan. I do apologize. I am Zinan. I am one of the guard captains. This area is under my charge tonight, so I can only apologize that something like this was allowed to happen. But the nearest guardhouse is only a few streets away. It is the Southgate guardhouse. You are actually still very close to the gate entrance to the south, and they will be taken there for questioning and to be kept in our charge until we can determine why this happened and who they were following the orders of.
Well, and
It could very well be they are just a thief who were interrupted in their task, but judging by the injuries you have sustained, I think they may be something a little more dangerous.
yeah, she did steal our money. Have you found that?
Unfortunately, I would not be willing to investigate their personage fully until they're taken to the guardhouse where we can be assured that they will not attempt an escape.
Okay, so I can come and claim my stolen things.
Roll a
At the
deception
south.
check.
No problem.
They're going to roll an insight. And they didn't roll well, so...
Oh, well. 22.
Okay, he believes you're telling the truth. If we discover anything on their personage that we believe may have belonged to yourselves, we will, of course, notify you, but we will not know until we've had a chance to carry out a thorough investigation. At this point, I'm assuming, have you guys both sat down on this stoop that he directed you, or is one of you still standing, or have you both sat down?
I'm definitely sat.
I sit down.
Cool.
Kind of like trying to calm myself down as well because, been in so much anger. It's like calm, that kind of
the adrenaline is wearing off, the body is catching up to it. So you guys have been running for like a solid, it's not been a long time, but like as anyone knows, sprinting for more than a couple of minutes is pretty fucking hard. So you're catching your breath, you're breathing heavily, and they like crouch down so they're on eye level with you. So just so I can, and this isn't an official report, we will ask you to come in tomorrow. I can imagine you have both been rudely awoken. So we will, if possible, ask you to come in. You said you were staying at the Ember Hearth Inn, yes?
Ember Hearth Gate.
I do apologise, yes, the Ember Hearth Gate Inn. You're both staying there with 2 companions?
Yes, we are.
Okay, I will send a messenger in the morning once you've had a chance to finish your rest, and we will ask you to come in to answer some questions, if that is okay with yourselves.
Of course, I'm happy to come in.
In the interim, just so I have an idea, to reiterate what you've told us, you were asleep. This person broke into one of the rooms that yourself,
that was my room.
Yes, he came into the room with yourself and one of your comrades, stabbed your comrade, Have they been left on their own?
No, there's someone back there with them. We do have.
Excellent. Do you know, do they have any abilities at healing wounds, or are they likely to be in imminent danger?
They have the ability to do it. I'm not sure if she would have done it.
Wow.
I'm going to put...
But she may have.
I'm going to hope that they have done, and that we aren't running into a life-threatening situation. But in the meantime... As I said, my colleagues have already been notified and somebody is already on their way to the Ember Hearth Inn.
Oh, if they get there, if you can send a message, if they get there, just check he has all of his teeth.
Unfortunately, my colleague has already headed off to notify the healers. I'm actually hoping one should be with us very shortly. But after this person attacked your comrade, you were asleep at the time, and he looks directly at you because so you were all asleep at the time.
Yeah.
They broke in, attacked you in your sleep, stabbed your comrade, and I assume the commotion woke yourself?
Yes.
At which point, I'm assuming as well... so I haven't asked your name as well. You would be any point at you, Kazizel?
I'm Kazizel.
And...
Oh, I'm Anna.
Anna. Anna, were you in the same room, a different room?
I was in the room next door.
And you were woken by the commotion, I assume? I believe so.
Yes?
Yes, possibly. I can't remember.
Yes, he thumped on the wall.
That's right, yes.
And shouted.
Yes.
Shouted.
So you were woken by the commotion and you entered the room, at which point you saw what exactly?
What did I see?
I mean, either of you can answer this question. He's asking the two of you, because Cecil woke up, you came into the room, what did the two of you see?
I don't think I actually did go into the room. I think I just my friend called to me and said to pursue this person who had stabbed our friend. So I acted on impulse and ran after them. I'm quite impulsive, yeah.
They just nod.
I saw my friend with a stab wound. Saw one of our comrades come into the room to try and see what the commotion was, and I saw the person you've just taken away diving out the window.
Okay. That implies to me this was someone trained and someone who knew what they were doing. And I don't want to alarm you all, but this sounds targeted. With your permission, I would like to set a guard on the Ember Hearth Gate Inn for the night until we can determine if this person was acting alone or as part of a group. Would that be okay with both of you?
I mean, I'm happy to have extra eyes while we sleep.
Yeah.
It would definitely put my mind at ease. How about you, Kazizel?
Hey, if there's less chance of anyone getting through to us, then, take that help.
He nods and says, excellent. And you hear a thumping of feet and a running and a jangling of chainmail, and around the corner runs two guards escorting a cleric from one of the local temples. It is a stout dwarven gentleman. He runs forward, huffing and puffing, wearing his temple robes. He's like, okay, right, who needs healing? Who needs healing?
Me.
Okay, right. And he runs up and he's like, where's the wound? Where's the wound?
The wound is here, and then I just show my abdomen.
Okay.
I assume that's where she stabbed me.
Yeah, I think I said she stabbed you across the front of the chest, so we'll assume the gash across across your abdomen, across your super muscular six-pack.
Yeah.
And he's like, you see for a split second, he goes at the side of it, he goes a little green. Right. Right. I do apologise. I am not used to this. I'm used to, people who have hit themselves with a hammer or fallen off a ladder. This is
Oh my!
Right, I can do
God.
this. I can do it.
No,
right.
no.
Right. And they
Get on with our friend back at the inn.
they rub their two hands together, and you start to hear them mumbling some prayers of healing. And give me a perception check.
21.
Cool. As they sort of kneel down, they start rubbing their hands
19,
together.
sorry.
That's 19's close enough. As they kneel down, you spot a symbol on their cleric's tunic. They are a cleric of Selune. you've noticed this symbol. It's the same symbol that Twilight wears. And you personally, from your upbringing, would know that at nighttime, one of the few temples that are fully staffed is going to be a temple who worships a moon goddess. So this person kneels down, presses their hands together, and you hear them mumbling a prayer. You catch words about the moon and the pale lady and the bright moon lady. And as they press their two hands against your abdomen, you swear for a second the moon shines brighter. The light is that much sharper in the world around you as you feel this, not quite warmth, but a sensation of almost like starlight feels on your skin as it spreads throughout your stomach and you feel the skin knitting together. The sensation is slightly dampened by the green face of the dwarf in front of you, who refuses to look directly at the wound as it heals. You see a sweat break out on his face, but he isn't looking at you. This isn't from, feeling ill. You can tell this is taking a lot out of him to heal a wound of this significance. This isn't something he's used to doing, like he said. But after a couple of seconds, the sensation passes. You look down and you have fresh, new skin where the wound was. No scarring, but healed fully. And he takes a deep breath. Oh, right. Oh. Okay. How are you feeling?
I feel brand new. Thank you so much.
Excellent. And he steps away and proceeds to vomit.
No. Wait. Oh. Oh, goodness. Oh, okay. Sir, sorry, what was your name?
Sorry. Oh, right, sorry. The name's, Myrdal. Right.
And Myrdal, how would you spell that?
Muirdal. Myrdal.
Myrdal. Myrdal, do you mind, if I ask, are you a follower of Selune?
Oh, yes. Excuse me a second. And he's wiping the sweat off his mouth and wiping the vomit from his beard. And he stands up tall and proud. He's like, yes, I am a follower of Selune. Yes. Why do you ask?
Well, a very good friend of mine is also a follower of Selune, and she would be so excited to hear if you have a temple.
You don't say. Well, actually, funnily enough, yes. That's why I'm the one here, because we are the only temple who has a full contingent of healers during the night, strangely enough. Funnily enough, one of my colleagues has probably been sent to your friend if they're also injured.
Huh. That's good. I think that will...
They did call for two of us, so I assume it was also your friend.
Yes. My friend will be there.
Okay. If you don't mind...
That's good.
I need to go for a lie down.
Yeah.
I think...
Go on.
I was just going to say, I think we all do. It's been an eventful night.
It has. Hopefully you feel better soon.
And yourself. Zinan, anything else for me? And the elf just shakes his head. You can see he's just like,
oh,
this guy.
Am I at full health now?
Yes, you're at full health.
Wow.
And he nods to yourself and to Zinan, and he trundles back down the road without his escort this time. Zinan turns back to the two of you. I'm glad we were able to assist with that. Do you need an escort back to the inn, or will you be fine making your way there on your own? I'm more than happy to send a few of my guards with you to make sure that nothing else untoward happens, but I already have guards headed there to escort the cleric who's gone to heal your friend.
I think we're okay. I think we can manage the walk. What do you think, Azizel?
Yeah, I think we've shown we can take care of ourselves.
Yeah. I'm feeling much better now, so...
Excellent. I will allow you to make your way back then, and like I say, we will send a messenger in the morning when we would like you to come in to answer a few more questions if possible.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your help.
It's not a problem at all. And he motions to the guards who currently still have this person in shackles nearby, and they all head off towards what you assume must be the nearby guard's house. And you guys make your way back through the city towards the Emperor Hearth, and you're able to pretty easily retrace your steps. Hey guys, just jumping in quickly to let you know we actually have a paid sponsorship this week. We have been sponsored by the talented guys over at Bandit Camp, who released the Wicked Ones game system. So Wicked Ones is a forged in the dark tabletop RPG, where you get to take on the role of a fantasy monster. Now this isn't just introducing monstrous races, this is a completely new take on a sort of monstrous game, where you have to build up your own dungeon, raid the surface world to gather your own horde, construct your traps, recruit minions, and dig further into the deeps to make discoveries. But most importantly, your job is to slay the would-be heroes who come to rid the world of your evil. On top of the base game, they also have the Undead Awakening, a full game expansion for Wicked Ones, where you get to leave the dungeon behind and embrace undeath. Become a powerful necrotic creature and lead your horde in a conquest as you terrorize regions, spreading corruption and, most importantly, death. There's one key, very important piece of information for this promotion though. Wicked Ones is already available. You can go on to DriveThruRPG and pick it up already. But the reason for this promotion is because they are running a Kickstarter to provide printed, high-quality materials as opposed to just a PDF download. They smashed their goals in the first hour and have been announcing stretch goals as they go. Now, Wicked Ones and Undead Awakening has resonated deeply with the dark hearts of those looking to lean into their evil side. Through the Kickstarter, you can also get your hands on 66 engraved resin dice with colour-coded runic symbols. You can pick up a cartography kit with 7 region sandbox maps already printed on thick linen texture paper, as well as further possible stretch goals coming. We will have links to all of this in the description, but you can search for Wicked Ones on Kickstarter or by heading to banditcamp.io to get more information. Seriously guys, go check this out. It looks super cool. I've already read through the Wicked Ones PDF and it is super interesting as a gaming system. It's been heavily inspired by games like Dungeons, which if you haven't played is very good fun. And I just think it's a great opportunity to lean into playing an evil monster and getting to do things you don't normally get to do in your standard TTRPG campaigns. So go check it out, pick it up, and get in touch with your darker side. Back at the inn. It's only been a few minutes since they left, but after some time, you do eventually hear a banging at the tavern door before the door is sort of... I'm not going to say the door's kicked open. There's a hammering at the door which goes on for bits. You hear shouting from outside saying, City Guard! City Guard! Open, please! And eventually you hear a door slamming, what you must assume must be the tavern owner running downstairs. Dum, 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 dum. And he runs to the front door and you can hear a muffled and then footsteps hammering up the stairs and you hear someone shouting out, Is there anyone injured? Does anyone need healing?
Yes, in here.
The door swings open and stepping in are 2 city guardsmen accompanied by a slender elven woman wearing cleric's robes. Or priestess's robes. Twilight, I'm not going to make you roll. You recognize the symbol immediately. This person is a priestess or some sort of, follower in the church of Selune.
Twilight's going to jump up and salute. Welcome. My friend got stabbed. I can see your product of Our Lady of Light, the moon goddess. I also am. And then she looks down and realizes that she's in her pajamas, which are covered in stars anyway. So she's just going to try and style it out.
If I remember correctly, with a butt flap.
With a butt flap, yeah. So she's just going to style it out and pretend those are her cleric's robes for now. Doesn't have time to change. And she'll be like,
with your footsies.
Yeah. I've already administered some healing, but I do think he needs more. I will, and then I'll step back.
Okay. This cleric, let's say cleric, this priestess. You see them. It's not when I say look you up and down. It's not like a look you up and down. Ugh. They just take you in, and there's a nod of acknowledgement. They approach Sinclair and they lean down, and when healing happens, it doesn't leave a scar. It makes new skin. But that's the thing, it makes new skin. The areas around it, you can tell where someone has been healed because it is fresh, it is new, it is unblemished. They can see where Sinclair was injured when you show them the wound area. They can see that obviously they have been healed recently. And it just, for my sort of, before I describe a load of nonsense, obviously Sinclair, you were stabbed. Twilight, you did heal him. Like, Sinclair, are you back to full health, or are you still like down HP?
I'm 11 hit points off full health.
And how much damage had you taken? Roughly, if you can remember. Were you close to death? I remember. I vaguely recall you being close to death.
Yeah, I think I was on like 10 hit points, something like that. It was, I couldn't. Yeah, and then then they took the last hit and went down.
Yes,
that sounds about right. Because they got sneak attack as well.
Yeah. So, this priestess can see that there has been healing administered, and you were quite badly wounded. She can tell, like, this is something like an experienced healer can notice. And they lean down. You can hear them mumble. You're quite close this time. You're not out in the street, so you hear them say, "May Selune guide your steps in the night and bring them to the new dawn." And again, you have this sensation of the starlight and the moonlight outside the window, which at this point is still hanging open, the shutters banging against the walls in the breeze. The light that you can see through that window, just for that moment, seems imperceptibly brighter. From their hands touching your skin, you feel a tingling of starlight, much like you do when Twilight heals you. But this is different. Not to say that Twilight doesn't feel as good, it's just different. And you feel the sensation wash over your skin, and the remainder of the wound knits together. And this person stands up, checks over the rest of your body, and says, how do you feel? You have fully regained your hit points at this point.
Yeah, Sinclair will sort of pat himself all over. I'm shaken, but I'm feeling physically much better. From the darkness to the dawn, by Palor's light, I thank you. That was really something I've been through.
When you say Palor's light, you see there's like a nod of recognition. The temple of the Lady of the Moon and the paladin of the God of the Sun. There's a recognition and an acknowledgement. This isn't a rivalry, but one guides into the other. Palor leads people through the day into the night, and Selune protects them through the night into the dawn. She nods, and when she acknowledges that you are feeling better, she turns to Twilight, and she nods to you and acknowledges yourself. You said you administered the healing here before my arrival?
Yes, yeah, I saw he was unconscious, so just panicked and did the first thing that came to my mind. But I hope it was okay.
Closes her eyes and nods gently. Yes, I believe had you not been here, your friend may not have survived. She looks to you, Sinclair, as you have much to thank your friend for. She smiles to you, Twilight. You're a talented healer. You have done well to keep your friend among the living, to see another dawn in, and she nods to you and smiles slightly, in Palor's light.
Sinclair will laugh.
In the night, the lady's light shines on all of us, and brightly upon yourself. And she looks at you, Twilight. You are blessed of Selune, I believe.
Yes, I am.
She speaks to you?
She does.
She smiles at that. I would be honoured if you would attend our temple while you're in the city.
I would love that. And just as Twilight gets excited, she kind of just uses thaumaturgy to make her eyes go all sparkly. And just and kind of she's going to bow, and as she bows, one half of her butt flap's going to fall down. But she's going to say, thank you so much.
The elven woman laughs. My name is Ravavier. It's a pleasure. That's Rava.
Yeah.
Vyre. Ravavier. If you visit the temple while you're here, please ask for me, and I would be honoured to show you around.
I would love that. My name's Twilight.
It's an absolute pleasure, Twilight. Give me. I'm assuming since you've been traveling, I'm assuming like whenever you found out about Selune, you would have done some research. In your travels, you would have visited some of their temples. Give me a history check.
Not bad. 16.
That's fine. You know that within Selunite worshippers, within the priestesses and stuff, there are various ranks. These aren't like military ranks or one after the other, but it just shows how far along within the temples these people have progressed. You recognize that this person is an instarred priestess, they would be called. The instarred priestess, then their name. So this is the instarred priestess Ravavier. You know that's not super high on the ranks, but it is someone who has dedicated their life to the church, and they have progressed through at least a couple of the ranks. So they probably aren't, in a city of this size from your travels, you would know they probably aren't the ones in charge, but they're a few steps down at most.
Nice. Okay. Well, thank you for coming to us in Starred One. I will take you up on that offer, and I will see you soon.
Whenever you use her formal title, she smiles and says, "Thank you, Cleric of Selune." You can tell she's sort of taking a stab in the dark at that one, and she's waiting for you to acknowledge that one way or the other.
Yeah, I'm gonna lopsided grin.
Yeah. It would be my pleasure to host you, but I can see that you were traveling and you're obviously visiting the city, so I will allow you and your friend to gather some rest. From what I understand, and I don't mean to worry you, but one of my colleagues was also dispatched to two who were chasing someone through the streets, I believe. So I believe one of your friends may have been injured, but if my colleague has attended to them, as inexperienced as he is, I'm sure he will have healed them as well. So they should be returning here fairly soon.
Okay.
But please, and she looks to you, Sinclair, rest, regain your strength, and we will hopefully see you at the temple soon, she says to you, Twilight. But for now, I will leave you to your rest.
Thank you for everything.
Thank you.
She nods, and she leaves. One of the guards, who's at this whole time sort of stood by the door, leans in and says, "We have been instructed to remain on the premises, to act as watch and guard for yourselves, so please do feel free to gain some rest. As the priestess says, we do believe one of your friends was injured, but they are being attended to and should be returning shortly. The guard captain has no intention to keep them for the night, as he understands you were disturbed in a period of rest and does not wish to cause you any more hassle. But please, we will be here keeping an eye on things. Feel free to return to your rest."
Thank you. And as she's walking down the corridor, away, I'm just going to turn to Sinclair in a very not subtle whisper and just be like, "Holy shit!"
I'm so happy for you. That's an invite straight to the temple, and he's gonna, put his hand on Twilight's shoulder. Well done.
Thank you. Are you feeling okay? Did she heal you enough? Do I need to do anything? I've got.
I was washed by moonlight. And the water was fantastic. I'm feeling much better. Yes.
Yes, that dirty river water that we had before getting here in your water skin. Just for the record as well, Sinclair, you would know this place probably has a temple to Paylor.
I think we're gonna have to go and see some temples.
Yeah. We're gonna go on
you would be aware a city of this side is you're gonna be aware a city of this side will have some of the mainstream gods, probably a few lesser temples or shrines to some of the smaller ones, depending on the location. But there's probably a temple to Paylor here as well.
Yeah, because isn't Paylor one of the major ones, one of the bigger gods? Sorry.
I actually only when I was researching for this session I realized that you were a dickhead. And you've picked me a Greyhawk god, so there's not as much information on Paylor. So, but I'm sort of replacing Lathander in this setting because Lathander is the Forgotten Realms god of the sun. I'm just replacing him with Paylor for you.
Oh yeah.
So
cool.
I'm saying that in his place,
Team Lathander.
in real life game, Danny plays a cleric of Lathander. So I've replaced him in this setting with Pelor now, knowing that. So yes, Pelor is one of the main gods, being the god of the sun and harvest.
Nice.
Hell
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Rewritten the lore, baby.
Pretty much. Well, like I said, like the gods remember set in stone. I just said I mostly use the Forgotten Realms one because people recognize them if they play D&D. So you've just put me, slotted a Greyhawk god in instead of a Forgotten Realms one. So it'll do. But
because he sounds cool.
Well, this is the thing. I didn't realize this until I was researching him. Apparently, he's used quite heavily in the Critical Role games, which is probably why you know the name. Yeah. So anyway, you have been healed. I'm assuming, like, so Twilight, you said you were like going down the corridor. Are you heading back to your room then? Because you were like,
no, I was just like saying Sinclair whilst she was going down the corridor away from us. So she probably would have heard me. But I'm going to stay with Sinclair.
Oh, sorry. While the cleric or the priestess was going down the hall. Sorry. Yeah, when you said she, I thought you meant Twilight was just walking away from Sinclair.
Sorry, too many third person. No, I'm just going to be sat with Sinclair until the others get back.
Cool. I'm going to assume you get him back into the bed somehow with him being like twice the size of you. You're also fully healed, Sinclair. I'm sure you can manage it, but you make it look like Twilight's helping you. And you...
Oh, yeah.
She'll tuck you in.
Oh,
a
excellent.
little kiss on the forehead.
One foot's poking out, and I'm like, perfect.
The whole time, half of her butt is on show.
Yeah,
is it a regular sized bed?
Yes, it is. It's not so much one foot.
Oh god, he's hanging over it
from the knees down on both legs. Perfect.
You know, and the bed frame like creaks under the strain as well.
You settle back in. Twilight sits in the room with you. I imagine by the time you've gotten settled in, you're probably sitting on Kazisel's bed, just keeping an eye, fussing over him. Do you need more water? Are you warm enough? Do you want another blanket? And
cold compress.
I'll get you some Vicks, rub it on your chest.
Calpol.
Eventually, Giuliana and Kazisel, they make it back. You hear the door open downstairs. There's an exchange of words with the guard. And eventually you hear the footsteps coming up the stairs, and Kazisel and Giuliana poke their heads back into the room. And I will leave this next little interaction up to you guys. You can exchange as much information as you like.
Oh my god, what happened? Where are you? Are you okay? They said you were hurt.
Yeah. She stabbed me. Sinclair, it hurts, doesn't it?
It hurts like a bitch, yes.
It hurts like a fucking bitch. I'm glad you agree. I'm not going to lie, guys. I nearly died.
What?
There are two things we have in common. We both got stabbed and we both nearly died.
I know. Scary. And then this man came. Oh, by the way, it may... Wait. No, anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Doesn't matter. Scratch that. Yeah, this guy... I am healed, though, so don't worry. Some man healed me. He wasn't great. I hope you got a better healer than me. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, it was...
He threw up everywhere.
It was like...
It wasn't very sanitary, actually.
Yeah, this one didn't like the sight of blood or wounds or anything. I know.
Did you notice as well, Kazizel?
Yeah, weird for a cleric not to like blood.
You say in front of the paladin who doesn't like blood.
That's on purpose.
You guys could be like twinning. Iconic.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Maybe you would get on, Sinclair. Oh, speaking of getting on, did you meet the cleric of Selune? Wait, I don't know. Did you get a cleric from Selune as well?
We didn't even get a freaking cleric. We got an installed priestess.
You got an installed...
Yeah.
We got a princess.
Princess is so much better.
That was me reading my notes wrong, but I feel like it's very canon.
I feel like that's very right.
But she might as well have been a princess because the way she floated in here. Oh my god.
Oh.
She invited me to the temple. She invited me to the temple. What am I going to do? What am I going to wear? Wait, okay, you need to go. You got stabbed?
Yeah, I got stabbed, and it sounds like I got the worst cleric in the world, and you guys got the best cleric.
Wounds. You're alive.
He healed the wounds, but he also threw up
on you
in the street.
Does this mean I'm like the middlest cleric in the world?
You are going up in the world. You're going up in my estimations now.
So glad. This is great.
But But yeah, I thought I was going to ask him, actually. His name was Murdal. And I was going to ask him about where the Temple of Selune was for you, because I got really excited. Because are you proud that I actually recognise Selune's symbol?
You always were good at accessorizing, so I'm not surprised.
True. I never forget jewellery. But yeah, I was gonna ask him where the temple was so that we could go. But if you've already made friends, then that's already done.
Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. Where's the stabby bitch?
Oh, that's a good question, actually. That's probably what we should have led with. Kazisel, would you like to inform them about what happened?
Yeah, we caught up to them. I know what I was feeling at that moment. I was electric. That's the only way I can say it is I was electric.
Oh yeah. Yeah, to be honest, he was electric. It was actually quite impressive.
We're gonna go down to Electric Avenue.
Well, that's
Whoa, what is that? It's always like there's music playing.
It's that tour guide again.
Is this tavern playing music at this time of night?
Just floating outside the window, finger guns, finger crossbows.
This city is fantastic. Well, it's a big
two of you got stabbed. It's not that great.
You're feeling electric, so this is good. Well,
but
keep going with
yeah,
that.
we caught up. Guards were chasing down as well. There was me being on a rooftop. I'm getting all muddled up here, but they've been taken to the guardhouse.
Yes, specifically
guardhouse.
they went with Captain Guards Xenon, and they are in the guardhouse at the south gate, and that's where she is. That's where the bitch is, the stabby bitch.
She's a woman. I only ever saw a cloak because I had no idea what she looked like.
It was a woman.
It was definitely a woman.
Do we know why she stabbed?
Well, Oh, go on.
No, go ahead, because
I was just going to say that the guards did mention to us that this sounds like it was a targeted attack. Like it sounds like this is a lot bigger than just one assassin.
Target us though. We're so cute.
I know.
Says the ones embroiled in a conspiracy.
Listen, I'm in footy pajamas. I'm not thinking about conspiracies right now.
Jordan, where are the guards? Are they outside of our room?
When you came in, you would know there is one inside the tavern on the ground floor, one outside the front door, and you did spot another one just like doing a patrol around the perimeter. But there are none like nearby to you right now who you would expect could hear you.
Cool. But what I did try and question her. Obviously, I asked her who sent her, why she was doing this. She didn't answer. Ignorance. It's just so rude. But what I did get, and then I'm going to like pull out the little clay thing, is this.
A mob.
Would Sinclair know what it is? Because he would have done a bit of study.
You can give me an insight check, because this is assassin-y stuff and stuff that was directly involved in the Blood War, which while the Paladins would have been told about, it's not like, that was a while ago for you. It's not something you would get in like current day training.
Okay, 16?
Yeah, you recognize this. This is something that people who fought in the Blood War, again, Paladins wouldn't often use it because it was kind of assumed that Paladins would either fight to the death or win.
Yeah.
So you recognize this as a last resort for those who might have been captured, as a way of preventing, eternal suffering, essentially.
As soon as Gilliana pulls it out of her pocket. Is that what I think it is?
Depends. If you think it's a poison capsule, then you would be correct.
And if you think it's a marble like Twilight, you'd be wrong.
Listen to the mouth.
So it's not a marble.
Yes, it's a death marble. That's what we'll call it. It's a death marble.
Writing that down.
She had this in her mouth, but with my fantastic reflexes, I did manage to pluck it out before there were.
She was gonna kill herself.
She was going to kill herself. That's a coward's way out, in my personal opinion.
God, death by marble. What a way to go.
Death by marble. Yeah. But yes, I did retrieve this, which means which suggests
Yeah, someone who's got that in their mouth is up to sneaky shit. They're up to sneaky shit, right?
yes, sneaky shit. Actually, I probably would know what it suggested, but I don't know personally.
So another
Okay.
town, more sneaky shit.
I mean, you know almost as much in character as you do out of character. Like out of character, what is it you think you know?
What I think I know is that she has a lot of information that she doesn't want getting into the wrong hands.
Okay, I thought you knew something else, in which case I'm not going to elaborate on that.
Oh, see, I'm stupid.
I mean, you're
It's
stupid.
unfair.
That is, if it was a normal assassin, that is what you would assume from this type of thing, and that's, if that's what your character, if you think that's what your character thinks, then that is a logical conclusion to get to. Do you know what? Fuck it. Give me an insight check. See if you can piece this together, because there is actually all of you. Now that you've been told this is a poison, all of you can make an insight check.
14 for me.
I don't know if this is very in character, but I rolled a natural 20.
Same here. Natural 20 here, so 23.
Okay. Sinclair.
Oh god.
Oh, you want me to do it?
I mean, if you want,
Sorry,
if you're like zoned out of this conversation, that's perfectly fine.
That was me zoning out IRL. Very sorry. 19.
Okay. Sinclair, you work this out, but you're a step behind Twilight and Cassis, who almost start speaking in unison when they start going, but all of the ones we've met so far who have been enthralled have died whenever we took the thing off of them. Therefore, this person has another method of killing themselves, so whatever is controlling them may not be able to kill them. And you both look at each other like,
They're unkillable. Well, except by Marble, Everyone has their... I was going to say kryptonite, but kryptonite doesn't exist in this world. But everyone has their Achilles heel, or that doesn't exist in this world either.
Their weakness.
Marble.
Yeah, pretty much what you've worked out is like the ones you have met so far, like the ones with the rings and stuff. You took the ring off them, they died or they convulsed or they went catatonic or whatever. So this person obviously doesn't have a way of doing that, so they have been given a method of taking themselves out.
Because they're too powerful.
Well, you don't know why, but that's what. If that's what Twilight assumes, then absolutely yes, that's what Twilight assumes.
Yeah.
But I'm giving you the puzzle pieces you were able to piece together, which is these ones are different to what you've encountered so far because they have had to have been given a method of killing themselves to prevent being delivered into the wrong hands, as opposed to the others who it didn't matter because if the control thing was taken off, they died.
Yeah.
And if the rings don't work on these, then why don't the rings work? What stops the rings from
Well,
working?
so you don't know if the rings don't work. You know, they're from what Gilliana's told you, they weren't wearing a ring.
Yeah.
But
they just wanted to maybe not be a mind-controlled person.
I'm okay. So I'm going to assume that obviously Gilliana gave a synopsis of what happened. I'm assuming there was enough detail there that you guys all know. 1, they weren't wearing a ring. 2, they reacted similarly to the people who were wearing rings before, where they're not showing.
They had no emotion.
Yeah, they're not showing emotions. They're not reacting. They're not fighting. They're not arguing. They're not telling you anything. They're acting similar to those people, but there was no ring, and these people had a method of killing themselves. Again, this is all information you guys had, your natural 20 insight. You're piecing this all together so you can know they're similar to what you've seen before, but different.
Maybe because she wasn't wearing a ring, I did check. Maybe she's been influenced by the orb on its own.
Also, did you put your fingers inside her? Sorry, we glossed over that part of the story. Did you put your fingers inside her?
I did have my fingers inside her, yeah. Are you proud of me?
I am, that's really metal.
Throws up the horns.
Please, don't mention it anymore. I can't take anything like that.
So, they're having people being controlled here, back at the old place, but if the guards have this one in custody, and we know they're not very talkative, they're not going to give away any information. Do you think this is worth mentioning to the guards? And this could also be a way of getting help for the other town as well.
Yeah, I think we definitely need to talk to the guards about this. when we go and visit tomorrow. I've also been thinking, have we tried talking to these people in any other language apart from what we've already spoken to them?
I don't think we have.
I can't. Well, this is out of character. I can't remember if you did. I think one of you may have tried a couple of different languages. But I would say this much from like the insight rolls and stuff you guys have made. It isn't a case of they don't understand you; they're just not responding to you.
Not aware.
Like,
okay.
You can imagine if you were speaking to someone who was French and didn't speak English, and you kept talking English, they're not going to sit there silently staring at you unemotional. They're going to go, "Pardonnez-moi, excusez-moi." They're going to like react in some way. They're going to speak French at you. They're not going to sit there in silence while you stick fingers in their body.
So it's kind of like a hypnosis, kind of like they're in a permanent state of hypnosis.
Pretty much, yeah.
Kind of.
Okay.
But maybe if they wanted to just not talk to you, but then if you spoke to them in a different language, you could maybe gauge a reaction from them. Was my
Well, yeah, no, I see what you mean. That's fair enough. If you guys haven't tried another language on the, you wouldn't know about that. You might have done. I can't remember.
We could always try it when we go to see what we've got a lot of languages between us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are they being? Well, we had that weird thing with the orb, where when we looked into it, we were like, "Whoa!"
Dude, cowabunga!
Yeah,
gnarly.
So maybe she's been orbed.
She's been orbed.
Maybe she has been orbed.
Orbius. It's Orbin time.
Yeah.
It's Orbin time.
Orbin time. No.
See, if they knew we were here as well, and they must have been watching us. Do they know if the last town isn't defended at the moment? We need to get someone down there as soon as we can, because
to the other town.
Yeah, they're going to need some help. They've just had an attack. They're not going to be able to fight off another one, especially if without anyone there to help them. We need to try and get them some help.
Well, reaching into his pack, Sinclair pulls out the letter that Malkil gave them. He just says, "Well, that is why we're here.
Mm-hmm.
We are here to get them some help."
Yes, we can do that tomorrow when we've all had some rest.
Yeah, Well, for what we seem to know already is that I feel like this was a targeted attack, and that I don't think that these people are affected by the same plague that we've already witnessed, which is comforting, at least. But we do need to move quickly, because obviously people are catching on to the fact that we're onto them, and they aren't playing. So as soon as we find out more information, the better.
Yeah.
So, quick question. Are you guys going to go back to your split rooms, or are you going to share a room for the rest of the night?
What are the odds that we get stabbed again?
What are the odds that another assassin is waiting on the roof for you all to go to sleep?
Do we want to take that risk?
Well, we've all got max health. What's the way?
For now.
I was going to say, I already tried that once.
I'm going to ask. I'm going to ask Sinclair what he would prefer. I'd be like, would you like us to go into our other room, or would you like us to stay in here? Because I feel like you've been through it.
To be honest, I don't think I'm actually going to get that much sleep myself. Out of the fear of being stabbed. It's genuinely up to you. I mean, I'll have Kaz here, and I'm sure he's the same. I don't think he's going to be as heavy of sleeper tonight. So, as I say, I don't mind.
I mean, I feel pretty safe. We've got our cool new friends outside blocking the doors. Like, when are we going to be safer than this? I think we need to take all the rest that we can get.
We need to rest up.
I'll say this much: you guys can share a room and get a full night's rest. Like, I'm not gonna punish you for doing that.
Luxury though.
I just let you know that is not. I'm not going to punish you for doing that. You can get a full night's rest, and you'll sleep in the one room. I'm just asking in character, what would you guys prefer to do? Obviously, Gilliana wants her own bed. Sinclair said he doesn't mind. Cecil, you're in the room with Sinclair already. So Twilight, what would you prefer to do?
Oh Jesus! Well, if Anna's going to go to her own bed, I'll go with her to our room.
Because let's be real. I don't mind Mians. I'd rather have my own bed.
That's fine.
Read in between the lines.
Don't worry. If someone stabs me again, I'll thump on the wall and make a noise again.
And if someone stabs me again, I'll thump on the wall and let you
Right,
guys know.
that's the signal. Okay, good.
And
Yeah.
we'll dive out
This
the window
point.
after him.
Yeah, Sinclair will hold up his
Okay, everyone roll me a perception check at disadvantage. I'm joking. You're fine.
I did instinctively pick
Yeah.
up the dice.
I did go to reach for mine.
I was like, oh shit,
I
here we
did get
go
a couple of
again.
looks of the camera there. No,
Thank God we weren't doing that.
you guys
because I-
get asleep. I would. So normally, obviously, you didn't get a full night's rest. I would, I maybe say like you don't get all of your stuff back. I'll say this much: Kazisel, I'll give you half of your key points back. And Twilight, I think you only spent the one spell slot, didn't you?
Yeah.
So you've still lost that because you've only got a half night's rest. But
And I'm guessing I won't get one of my breath back as well, because that's based on long rest.
we're saying, I'm giving you half the key points back just because, I don't want to... You've had a bit of a rest between a short and a long rest, so I'm not going to fully punish you, but you haven't had a chance to fully recover. But
okay,
I used one spell slot as well. I'm assuming I'm not.
You're definitely not getting that back. You were stabbed.
All right, cool.
So you're all back at full health through
I'm
various means. A couple of you are missing a couple of things, but then you do manage to drift off for the night. Please don't forget to check out the Wicked Ones on Kickstarter. Like I said previously in the mid-roll, we will have links for those in the description. And we also have another free to listen to interview on our Patreon. This time I sat down with Adam from Snyder's Return, and we chatted about lore and our inspirations, as I've done with a few other people before. That is up for free on the Patreon for anyone to access, so please do go have a listen to that, and go have a listen to Snyder's Return, and just hit Adam up and follow him as well. Our recommended podcast this week is frankly, just so entertaining to listen to. It is the Mythic Thunderlute podcast. These guys aren't your typical actual play podcast. They are a bunch of actors in Broadway recording a D&D session, although when you're listening to it, you'll find it's very roles light and much more role play heavy. And they have a whole team working together who will do underscoring, sound effects. They write their own musical numbers, which are then interposed with the episode. It is genuinely like sitting down and listening to an excerpt from a musical every episode. And unlike other podcasts we've recommended before, like Bombarded, where it is very much an actual play and then they have a song every so often, this is delivered to you more like a musical. There are occasionally roles that you hear, but it is for the most part a roleplay and acting centric podcast. I would definitely recommend them. They are a little bit different, but you are going to get a much, much higher post-production delivery from this podcast than pretty much any other one you're going to listen to. And I think that does set it apart quite strongly. That is the Mythic Thunderlute podcast, and all the info will be in the description as usual. But that's it for this week. Thanks very much for sticking with us, and we'll see you soon.